What's up, y'all? It's T-Tar, and today we're looking at more of y'all's theories for Pokemon in 2024. But first, we're going to talk about Pokemon Legends Johto. There's a proper chance this could happen. We talked in the last video about how Gamefreak might need to stall us this year, 2024, until the new Switch comes out. Because this is also something Gamefreak has said in interviews, right? They're always trying to one-up themselves. The reason they went from Aura's graphics straight to Sun and Moon so fast, though there was a 2-year gap, is because they keep wanting to do the best they can. I know some of y'all laughing at that because FPS issues and all, but you can see the progression, right? They went from Sun and Moon to Sword and Shield, then they went from Sword and Shield to straight open world. So since they're constantly trying to do the best, it would make sense that they're working on the best right now with the new Switch console. You know, it's just not shown officially by Nintendo. So this year would just be a stall year. So that's either Scarlet and Violet DLC, unlikely, or what's more likely is an ILCA game or a Legends Johto game made by a team of Gamefreak, but it isn't the main team. You know, since Legends Arceus is already established, they have the base template. Now they just gotta make a Johto version of that, while the big Gamefreak team's working on a big Unova game. So here's a clip that I scrapped earlier that talks about how a Legends Johto could play out. 2024 future game speculation. Hey T-Tar, it just hit me that maybe we have all missed a potential sign from Gamefreak about what might be their future plans for 2024. If you take a second to realize that the legendary beasts got past paradoxes, while the Swords of Justice got future ones, it could be a hint that Johto will get a Legends game in the past and then a future one for Unova. Yeah, this is clever and it's been an ongoing discussion. So the first layer to these two paradox trios is just that they're counterparts of each other, but this is something interesting that they based it off the two regions that are coming up next. So I've already talked a lot about wanting modern Unova remakes, but about the past Johto game, I was almost gonna say this in a previous video. Johto has actually a beautiful setup for a Legends game. The issue is, will people want it? Because check out the setup, right? The Burn Tower incident happened 150 years ago. Or maybe like 170 now. We've kind of went through time a bit since Gen 2 first came out. But still, Legends Johto, Legends Ho-Oh, whatever you want to call it. Legends Celebi, or if we need to time travel again. Because Arceus, I don't even know why he pulled us from the future. They could take us to the time where you're in a more older Johto where both towers are up and you see a whole different tradition concerning the two towers. You get to see Ho and Lugia actually like perched on their towers and a whole different vibe for Johto. And you get to witness the tower burn. But I don't know if Gamefreak wants to give that attention to Johto, because I know Gamefreak would be scared to make a Legends Johto game if really what everyone wanted was a Legends Unova game and mess their sales up, right? But think about it, right? So far, what we know about the Burn Tower incident is just something happened, like lightning struck the tower, then fire burned, rain poured down, then when Ho came back, it's like he personified those three incidents, the lightning, the rain, the fire, into Raikou and Suicune, the three Pokemon that were dead there. But what if in these Legends games we get introduced to a villain, right? And we learn a different context to this whole Burn Tower incident, that someone actually caused it. Maybe we learn what those original three Pokemon are. We could legit be introduced to a new legendary trio, which would be those three Pokemon before they died and got resurrected. I guess they don't necessarily have to be legendaries, but they could just be rare Pokemon that will be considered like the legendaries, right? Since no one really identifies who they are. But yeah, imagine the game ending with that Burn Tower incident and us realizing that story they told us about it burning down was actually caused by someone the whole time. Frick. And so, you know, if we got Legend Celebi, what you could also introduce along with the original three dog Pokemon are, well, I don't know if they were dogs, you know, they could introduce like a bigger form for Celebi. You never know, bro. Just like how Hoopa has a bigger form, you don't know if Celebi has a bigger form. They could introduce like more awakened forms for Ho and Lugia. They could. Yeah, I've thought about Legends Johto so much, but we gotta sit and think. Does Gamefreak think people want to see that? See, as much hate as Johto will get, which is not much, it's because it's tied to Kanto. But we've only been to Johto, what, twice, right? We were there for Gold and Silver, and then we were there for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's Kanto that keeps getting revisited. Either way, this whole Paradox Johto Beast trio, they wouldn't even have anything to do with Legends Johto. Alright, y'all let me know in the comments, right? If February rolls around and they announced Pokemon Legends Celebi. We thought Unova, we thought all these things, we thought Let's Go Johto, but none of that. it's just Legends Celebi. How would y'all feel about that? Because essentially, if we were to get this, that means we're not getting Legends Unova. It doesn't dismiss Unova. We would probably visit Unova maybe next year then. But that means next year, or this year, in like 2 days, this would be the year of Johto. And since this game takes place like 150 years ago-ish, right? Well, let's say they push it to so it actually took place 200 years ago. Could you imagine just little Easter eggs like meeting Heath, maybe meeting one of the characters from Legends Arceus? Like freaking Volo? Volo's still roaming around? Alright, we gotta stop. Y'all let me know your thoughts on this. Let's go to the next theory. So think about it, right? The setting would be Ekritik City back in the day. That burn tower incident is the golden time period to do something. It's pretty much the exact same time period as Legends Arceus takes place, which means, I don't know if I said this in the clip, but characters like Volo can cross over. You know, Volo can be like, man, F Arceus, one day my descendants will see you. Well, he says one day I will see Arceus. And then he just shows up in Johto, you know? Because think about it, Hisui and Johto, they're next to each other. Then you could have characters from Unova, their ancestors cameoing in this Legends Johto game. It's actually a really good opportunity for Gamefreak to just use this game as an advertisement for Unova, while it's also a good game. Another thing I said in a recent video is, I don't think the Paradox Beasts, these dinosaurs, are the ones that died in the burn tower. So it'd be cool to get a look at these like normal type dogs that just kind of, it's like Cyclizer, I've pretty much said this, that were very peewee and they were left in the tower when everyone was like running out or something and they died in the tower. And then Ho resurrects them, bringing out the full power they used to have in their dinosaur forms, but now they're more beast looking. All these crazy ideas keep going through my head, but y'all, make sure y'all shank that like button. And big news, 7 weeks remain. Finally, we've broken the time loop, my dudes. 7 weeks until Pokemon Day. Let's see if it's something Crystal. Let's go Crystal. What happens with Legends Johto? And let me know your thoughts on that Legends Johto ID in the comments. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.